I arrived as a baby there, obviously, but what year, I can't remember. So I was born in 45 and my father moved over, they moved in 38, so I was born in 45. So obviously, 45, 47, I'd say, when I moved to the island then. When I left Spike Island, I was 20. I got married in Cove. My childhood memories, we always had something to play with. We had great fun. There was always something to do. And I suppose being the eldest of a big family, so there was always someone to play with, and we had games, and it was a nice childhood. We had a nice childhood. I have one brother, and there was 9 of us there, 8 girls and 1 boy. There's 1 girl dead now. I wouldn't know much about the school because I went to school, I would have obviously gone to school in the island for the first few years, but I went to school then in Cove. So I remember going out in the boat all the time and going to the school across the road and getting a cup of cocoa and a bun. And then I always went to my grandmother for my lunch because she lived 3 doors down. So we kind of more or less, the younger crowd went to the school in the island, and they were there until probably secondary school. Well, we used to go to film shows up in the fort, and they were always breaking down anyway. And when Santa Claus would come, he'd come around in a big lorry and give us the parcels. And we had lovely dances there as we got older. And there was always, it was a good life. Friends, I had great friends, but there's nothing, you just hang around, like there's nothing, you just meet each other in each other's houses, and you just, I suppose, go around with the boys and that. There was loads of things to do. You could play tennis, there was pitch and putt, there was handball, there was always something to do on the island. I moved out about 3 years before I got married. I moved out to Cove. My husband was reared in Holbolan, the island next to it. So that's how I met my husband, and he used to always come into the island, and they were all young doing their homework, all my sisters, they were only all young at the time. And I used to go to the island every Sunday, then to Holbolan every Sunday for my dinner to his house, and it was grand. My father was very religious, and we had to be home for the rosary every night at 7 o'clock, and Mass every Sunday. Yeah, religion, my father would have been very religious, and we were always in church, but as involved in the church, in those days you weren't. Just went to Mass, you know. You didn't, not like now you're involved in all different things, not then. Oh, my mother had it very hard, you know, very hard. But she got there, she was always knitting. Always, every Easter, Christmas, we all had different jumpers, and she was always knitting. My mother worked very hard. Washing and no washing machines, boiling, scrubbing, cooking, very hard. I've gone back loads of times. As I said, we're in an animation team. We dress up and we're invited to different things. So I've been back about 4 times last year. It is totally different now. Well, eventually when it will be up and running. But like when we left, the houses were all beautiful, and my father's garden, beautiful gardens. You had an island full of things. And then when the prison, the houses are all wrecked. Now the island is wrecked. Not the same anymore. They had a boat, came in with all the rations, as they called it, you know, the rations. So every Thursday then you got the butter. It was big slabs of butter, big jars of jam, sugar and everything, and you had no fridges. Father used to have a little thing out, you know, like with a net over it. And the coal, everything came by boat. Everything came in by boat. Now we had a canteen where you could go up and buy stuff. You had 2 messes. You had the officers' mess on one side, and you had the ordinary then. Well, I suppose we had Christmas, and we had what we got for Christmas, and we had, no, you wouldn't have much luxuries, no. No, you don't miss the island. You loved the island. Was grand when you were going to school, because if the weather was bad and the flag came up, there was no boat, so you were delighted. But then as you got older, and you wanted to be out in the mainland.